Hello there. It's a beautiful day here in Kerry. This is going to be my last video for the Druid Garden series for a while. In part because we're getting into spring proper now, and I just will be too busy. I won't have the time to make lots of videos. So there may be one or two more, but they're going to be sporadic if at all, I'm afraid. That's one of the things about gardening. It does require a certain amount of time if you're ambitious and you're producing a lot of food and growing a lot of ornamental plants as well. So, I've got quite a lot of projects going on. So, actually just keeping up with that in itself is going to be difficult. But anyway, here's the latest from the Polytunnel mostly today. Okay. So you can see I'm here at the side of my polytunnel. There's a bit of a mess here which needs to be tidied up. This is old pots. There's some foxgloves in here which I should go and plant somewhere. I'll get round to that eventually. But over here some more potted plants in better condition. There's some very young trees which will get planted once they've had a chance to get a bit bigger. I think that's a fuchsia which is not woken up yet. Over here is a new blueberry that I planted to replace one that died, so hopefully that will take off. Some rhubarb here which will need to be potted on very soon. And you can see, look here, the blueberries are beginning to wake up, so hopefully I'm going to get a nice crop of blueberries. As you can see, these two raised beds are empty still at the moment, but that will change soon. Over here I've got my water butts, and I have the composters. This is the one that's currently being used, so let's have a wee look. It's full of odds and ends which are a long way from breaking down. This one over here is much older, so this has been filled up already. And the compost should be ready any minute now, really. It's been there quite a while. That's the idea of having two. That you have one which is sort of sitting there, fermenting slowly and sort of becoming compost, while the other one is being filled up. So, you switch from one to the other. Now here I've got some scallions, or spring onions as they're called. This is St. Joseph's lily, or Xanthodecia, that got a bit of hammering by the frost, so these have kind of been hardening up. So stuff that's in the polytunnel, when you want to sort of introduce it to the outside world, you do what's called hardening up, where you kind of maybe bring it out for the daytime, put it back at night, and do this gradually, and then eventually you can leave everything outside permanently. Okay, what you can see here is some tiny Lithidora diffusa, which have beautiful blue flowers. It's an evergreen plant, quite small. But these were in the tunnel. I brought them out here. It's going to get too hot for them in the tunnel, and they'll dry out. And obviously they don't have much in the way of roots because they're cuttings. So putting them out here, where I'm pointing is where the sun comes up at midday, so they're sort of shielded from the direct sunlight now. So this is the polytunnel, as you can see, a bit of a mess at the moment. So one of the good practice things is to keep your tunnel tidy and clean. So yeah, you can see this table's a little bit dirty, that needs to be cleaned off. I've got some seeds there ready to be put in the seed tray, which I haven't done yet. Big pile of pots could do with tidying away better. And I've got various plants here which are mostly bulbs that are sort of coming along. They're here to sort of get started up. Over here I have some Camellia sinensis, which is basically tea. So you can use the fresh leaves of these. One of them's looking a bit unwell, needs a bit of TLC. And these baskets up here, they've all got last year's strawberries in, and I'll keep those. and add to them. And I've got some runners here which are coming along nicely. Some rock rose over there needs to go outside soon, and these rather small lavenders which are going to be going outside very soon. Over here in the corner I have a still dormant grapevine. That bucket there is on top of some pernicious weeds to try and stop them coming up. The lemon trees are a little bit sad because they got a bit of hammering with the frost. I should have bought some horticultural fleece to wrap around them, but I didn't remember to do that. So they've suffered as a result. I got some agapanthus over here and a few other bits and pieces. A nice Australian bush here, which was a present. I can't remember what this is called. Citrus australis. So this will eventually produce some little fruit, I think. So that needs a little bit of a tidy up and probably repotting and a feed, I'd imagine, as we're coming into spring now. It had a bit of a hard time in the winter. Well, I mean, even though the polytunnel is warmer than outside, it can end up quite cold. As you can see, I've got stuff here on the ground that has been put down over the winter, which needs to be dug in. I have a whole load of compost that has to be dug in before I get round to doing things like tomatoes and courgettes and peppers and all that kind of stuff that will do well inside the polytunnel. So at the moment, you see, it's a bit untidy, it does need a bit of work, but a few hours should sort this all out. Over here I've got my bark mulch, and I've got some made up compost. I've got soil enricher, regular compost, and sand there. I've got lime over here in this container, and I've also got my pellets, my organic chicken manure pellets. So pretty much everything I need in here. It's just a matter of organisation and finding the time to tidy up a bit and get things done. So I put up this polytunnel myself with a bit of help. So I bought it as a kit, and you know, that's a very affordable way of doing this. And you can see the footpath's done with builder's planks either side of these very cheap paving slabs. So you know, if you've the money, you can pay someone to come and do it, but if you need to do it cheaply, I suggest really ideally 2 people. It's not too difficult to put them up. So that's the polytunnel. Okay, so that's it for today. Everything's beginning to wake up, so a lot of work I'm doing is going to be now is some pruning and making sure everything gets fed during this month, as that's the time when you need to give things a feed, is in springtime, and then maximum growth period is usually around May, June, that everything starts really taking off. So you want to make sure there's plenty of nutrients in the soil for your plants so that they can grow as much as possible. Okay, that's it for now. Hope you're having success with your own planting and growing, and I'll try and make more videos when I get the time, but as I said, things are getting quite frantic here now, so my opportunities to actually make a video rather than actually doing the work are going to be less. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a like and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.